What up, what up, what up, you guys? Welcome back to Instructions for Humanity, guys. It is your girl, Tahira, Mother of the Ages. I am your supernatural quantum healer. I specialize in past life regression and quantum telekinetic readings. Guys, if you'd like to book your own quantum telekinetic reading, just go ahead and details will be down below, guys. Let go. Guys, Kate Middleton is back. Kate Middleton is back, guys. We are going to do a reading. Kate Middleton's Akashic Soul. Harry is involved. I've been getting very precise messages, guys. I've been on this 33-degree pivot cosmic Christ fast that I've been on. So I've been fasting roughly about 14 days, and the messages are coming through very clear, very precise. So we're going to talk about what is Harry hiding and what's going on with Kate. I haven't been keeping up with her, but I know that she's been out at a few things. But guys, when I receive information, you have to understand we have different bodies of consciousness, right? You have a physical body, but you also have a spiritual body. You have an energetic body, right? You have all of this going on. So when we're taking a look at her Akashic Soul today, we're going to be tapping into what's going on in the spirit, in her spiritual body. Okay? Somehow Harry is in this too. I wrote down a few things. I start channeling some messages. And of course, I'm going to come here for you guys and we're going to channel more. I'm going to do some conversational channeling, my favorite style of channeling to do. And if anyone needs to be healed today, we will do that as well. So let's get started. The first vision I saw. Guys, now I like Harry and I like Meghan, but in all honesty, every single time I see Harry in the spirit, it's not love and light. And this has nothing to do with Meghan, so I'm only talking about Harry right now. I saw an image of Harry and he was like peeking behind some curtains. This was almost like, let's say, it almost looked like a stage, right? So let's say William and Kate, right, is on stage. But Harry is peeking in the background, guys. He's watching everything. And more so, the sense that I'm getting is that Harry is positioning himself. Harry is playing the long game. He's not aloof. He's not a loose cannon. He's not any of that. He's playing the long game. And I think he's learned this from his father, from Camilla girl. He's playing the long game. And he's always somehow, to be honest with you, his energy is in the spirit. It's a little dark. In the spirit, it is a little dark. So that was the first vision. Then I had a vision the other day. Now, mind you, I'm awake and I see Kate. She's dressed in all white. Anytime I see all white, that's my sign for spirit, guys. I keep telling you that her consciousness was extracted and there's been implants in. So no, she is not the same Kate. This is a different consciousness. But guys, this white dress she had on, and it kind of ended like, you know, how a pencil skirt, it kind of stopped right there, right? All of a sudden, she shows me that her right shoulder starts to turn blue. And it's just a very small part. So, I mean, this could be less than 10%, right, of her total body. It starts to turn blue, like a powder blue, like a baby blue. And Kate starts having some memories of her old self. She starts thinking about, she was asking herself the question, is this worth it, right? I do believe this is part of her consciousness now, kind of coming back online, because I saw what she was viewing in her mind's eye. She was viewing moments of her life. And she was asking herself the question, is this worth it? Has this been worth it? And one of the memories she pulled up was many, many years ago. It was her, William, and Harry, and they were running down a track. They were doing some sort of charity event, but they were running, and she was recapping this, and that was a really, really fun moment for her. That's one of the highlights. And it's so funny, guys, when we're reviewing our life, right? It's never when we made $1 million. It's never when we, took this vacation, this expensive trip. It's the simple things that really, really stick with us, right? In the heart space. And she was having that moment. Wow. So apparently spirit is here. I think Kate is here. Her spirit is here. So thank you, Kate. She was having that moment, and in that moment, it wasn't William that she was remembering. It was her relationship with Harry that made her smile. It made her chuckle. It made her gain a little bit more consciousness. Something about Kate and Harry. I know what I'm getting, but I want to see what spirit leads us to in this session today. There's something interesting about the two of them together, guys. Okay. Now, I took a few notes as these visions were coming through. It's very interesting that Kate also recaps her time as queen. However, of course, in this physicality, that has not happened yet. But in the spiritual realm, there is no time. Everything happens all at once, and you can play it in any sequence. And so, even as she's recapping, even being queen, she's still questioning, was this worth it? Was this worth it? And that memory with Harry was still one of the fond memories that she remembers. So part of Kate's true self and consciousness, I do believe, is resurfacing. It's resurfacing. Okay. Then I started to channel a lot of different things. And I'm going to go here and read that to you guys. I was channeling tulips and persimmons, which is like a fruit, right? And so when we look at what a tulip means, right, we want to take a look at the spiritual meaning of tulip. It means rebirth, right? So this is my confirmation. Kate has on all white. That's my sign for her being in spirit. But that blue coming through, representing consciousness. Some of Kate's old self is coming back online. I'm not sure how, but it is. Because as we know, I spoke about the Katie Clone 3.0. And Kate told me this. She said, if you see me out from here on out, this is when she was missing. She said, it will not be me. These are her words. If you do not see her, like basically you up close and personal with her, not a staged event, not a pre-planned event, but if you do not see her up close and personal, you yourself, she said, just know that it is not me. It's what she said many, many, many months ago. So as I see her in all white, and I was channeling tulips at the time of the vision, which means rebirth. So part of her consciousness is coming back online. Now, rather, they are bringing some of her consciousness back. Or is Kate actually infiltrating the consciousness that is residing in her body? Okay, hold on to that. So tulip means rebirth. And I'm going to read this. It says, as tulips bloom at the beginning of spring, they also have a meaning of rebirth, symbolizing rebirth and new life. New life. This is consciousness, new life. They can represent the journey of loved ones in the afterlife. Remember, I told you the true Kate is no longer with us and are often found on pre what cremation urns. Cremation urns. Another data point, right? This is truly Kate's Akashic soul. But as of before, we were talking about Kate going from physicality into the spirit realm. You can watch the Royals playlist. There's been a full journey of her slowly transferring and releasing part of the human experience. Because even when we pass away, guys, there is a part of us that still clings to this experience when we have not yet fully crossed all the way over, right? We're kind of in what some may call purgatory. I know that being the fourth dimension. It's where you have 1 foot in here and 1 foot out. The only difference being in the fourth dimension is that you've lost the ability to operate a body. You still have your full consciousness, but you don't have a vehicle, an earth vehicle, which would be your body. Spiritual vehicle is the soul. So this is a confirmation that now we are talking about Kate in the spirit. And now we're talking about when spiritual things now become physical, right? So less than 10%, maybe 7% of her old consciousness is back. And she is remembering. And the thing that sticks out the most is her time she spent with Harry. I mean, even hearing, it's not even the whole Meghan drama. She's not thinking about that. The media made such a big deal about that, and people were making think pieces and videos about the two. Guys, when your spirit is going to go to the highest timeline. Her highest timeline is with Harry. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting. I'm building. So let's take a look at persimmons. What do persimmons mean? I start to channel that as well. It says in Buddhism, persimmons symbolize transformation from ignorance to wisdom. The fruit's bitter taste, when unripe, represents ignorance, and its sweet taste, when ripe, represents wisdom. What do you think Kate is talking to us from? She's talking from her part of her that is wisdom now, because that's her spiritual body, and her physical body was ignorant to the depths that being in this royal family would take her through, to and through. She is now back with wisdom. And I truly believe she's here to win a game if she does all the way return. It's a small part of her. I'm taking a look at the split of her consciousness that is able to review records. This is the Akashic records that I'm looking at. Okay. Then I heard that Kate and Harry are somehow going to start to build a relationship again. Now, I don't know if Harry's coming back into the fold. Guys, Harry has never left. Harry has been hanging around in the background, stalking. He's been in the shadows looking. Something is very interesting with Harry. Something is very interesting with Harry. So I don't know if they will do engagements together. I'm seeing this in the spiritual. I don't know if this will translate down to the physical, guys, but she's looking to build that relationship back with Harry because that was the fondest memory that she's had so far of this lifetime. She didn't even mention her kids, guys. You will be amazed. You will be amazed when you look through your life what really stands out. Sometimes we're on a cusp period of growing from one age, right? Like our young adult self into our, into our more mature selves. And sometimes we remember those changes, right? Because they're really drastic. And sometimes we remember the person who helped us, or sometimes we remember the person or the thing that just provided some calm in the middle of the storm. Harry was her calm in the middle of the storm. So I see that relationship building again. I also wrote, they are chosen to be together. It's interesting, guys. They are chosen to be together. I don't know if that will happen this lifetime, but they are chosen to be together, these two. And we have a lot of people that were chosen to be with, guys. Right now, you could be married to someone, and who knows, in a past life, you may have been married to, your spouse's sibling, right? And that's why you feel the closeness. And so we switch roles, right, when we incarnate here on the Earth School. Then, this is interesting. I heard very clearly the sitting prince and the active prince. The sitting prince and the active prince. Of course, there are two princes, but what I'm talking about is there's two princes in one role. So as I take William to be the sitting prince, but the active prince is Harry. It feels, guys, like Harry is in line for the throne. This is what it feels like. He's hanging out in the shadows. He's been in the shadows this whole time. Even though we perceive that he's left, his spirit has never left. His spirit has always had his eye on the prize. Kate is destined to be queen. Feels as if Harry, I keep saying Harry's the wild card, guys. Feels as if Harry is positioned to be king. Now, will we see him actually being king in our face? Probably not. But behind the scenes, this could very well be Harry actually being the real king and William being the sitting king. The one that you see, the one that sits on the throne. But the one behind the scenes making all the decisions appears to be Harry. The one that the queen, Kate, is destined to be with is Harry. It is Harry. This is what I'm getting. And I'm gonna dig a little deeper into that. And then at the end of this message, I heard people are disappearing. People are disappearing. So if you notice, guys, I truly believe Harry is in charge of all this. I do. I do. I do. Now, this is happening in the spiritual realm, guys. Sometimes you don't even know what your spiritual self is doing because it could be doing something totally opposite than what your physical. But eventually, guys, once we see something happen in the physical, it's already been done in the spiritual. We're seeing the after effect. What I'm saying here is that Harry is positioned to be king, and Kate is destined to be with Harry. It's almost in a way where energetically, Kate is pulling him into this position energetically because of her fun. It's interesting. I'm not seeing romantic, but there's something on a soul level. I'm not saying that it's not, but I'm saying what I'm seeing. She's very fond. She's very grateful. No matter what the media shows, no matter the blow up, when it all comes down, when you're viewing from the spirit realm, you remember, you don't remember the bad things you go through with someone, you remember the highest and best timeline. And that's what she's remembering. And that is what's pulling Harry more into this position. And if you notice, guys, people are disappearing. Notice how small the royals have gotten. Do you see that they're dropping like flies? And I told you guys before in another video earlier this year that what's his name? King Charles. I didn't see him living past 2 years. And in fact, I think it's going to happen much sooner than that. I was getting the date by June, was it July 23rd? I think I said June 23rd or July 23rd. He will not be here. And I didn't see him living past 2 years. So I want to check and get some more reference points, guys. And then Spirit also tells me and shows me that Harry has octopus energy. Like he is a water spirit. He's operating as a water spirit, guys. And so think about when you're in the water, no one can see you, but you can see out, right? No one can see you. So he's been positioning himself this entire time. And an octopus, the spiritual meaning of an octopus, it's the ability to overcome challenges and situations with creativity and intelligence. The octopus reminds us to express ourselves even if our instincts say otherwise. This is how he's moving. He's overcoming this fallout. He's positioning himself. This is about to be a great shift, guys. When Prince Charles passes away, and there's a split moment in time where it's the changing of the guards. I truly believe Harry's going to try to take the crown in some way. Like I said, he's the active prince. William is the sitting prince. So will Harry be the active king and William be the sitting king? What this could look like is Harry's back in, I want to say back in the fold because everything they show you is a lie. And in truth, none of those other players truly have any power, especially after this shift happens. Technically, it's passed down to the next generation, even though it's William, but Harry is still in that next generation, right? Because the kids are still quite young, and there's another vision about that, about George. I truly believe Harry will be behind the scenes, making deals, running Parliament, talking to dignitaries around the world. I truly believe that these two will be working together. Thank you, Source. Because I don't think William even wants this. I think Harry will be making all the decisions, and I think William will be getting the praise for it. I do. And somehow this allows Kate to be with to be with Harry. It may not be out in the open, but this is the energy. William will not be running this. It will be Harry. It will be Harry running this. It will be. Let me check for some more messages here. Yeah. Mirata kanamoreta more shinirete. I'm getting like hidden hand, puppet master vibes. And guys, some of this will not be good. Some of this will not be good because in truth, the whole family is riddled with entities. So even it doesn't matter if Harry's not in the photo, what I don't believe that. Spiritually speaking, they are all in contracts with these entities, with these reptilians. This hidden hand, it's like a puppet master, puppet on the string. These entities will be working through Harry like that. So be careful what we ask for, right? Harry's been lurking. I've always seen him for a long time, just lurking in the background. And I've always seen an entity attached to Harry, a very dark entity. And it's attached to all of them, right? But I'm just talking about Harry. And this is how he'll be making decisions. It won't be from the bubbly Harry that we see. It will be from this entity that is in contract with this family. Another thing I saw is when I saw Kate in all white and a little bit of blue coming on her dress on the right side. She was saying telepathically to William. She said, if I am not well, then the spare will not be well. And I saw, it's interesting, I saw George collapse on the floor and his head was down. It feels as if these two, they're working as a unit. You know how your children can be so attached to you or anyone. If one person gets sick, then the other person gets sick. Feels like that. Like if Kate is not well, you're not going to have a spare. You're not going to have George as the spare. You're not. So it's in your best interest to have Kate well. And that might be why some of her consciousness is coming back in. Maybe they're allowing it back in because they see what's going on with George. They see what's going on with George. Kate is not well. He won't be well. You're not even going to have a spare. You're not. Kate is very powerful from the spirit realm. And this, what I was channeling, what was it? The persimmon that means wisdom, right? So with her consciousness being in the spirit for all that time, it's a level of wisdom that she's gained. Feels as if what I'm seeing, spiritually speaking, her consciousness from the spirit realm could win this game. She's a lot like Harry. As I see Harry always watching from the background. Well, even though Kate was in the limelight, she didn't say a lot. She's very subtle, right? But she's been watching. She's been studying the game. the game, realizing you don't have to be like Camilla. You don't have to be overt with it and nasty. You can be a little bit more tactful, calculated, and still righteous is the way that Kate comes off. But it's still that vibe of just hanging in the background. As of right now, I get the feeling that it's either one or two things. Either they are letting some of her consciousness back in so it does not affect the spare, or Kate has infiltrated some of her consciousness back into the current operator of her body so that she can win this game. It is true Game of Thrones. And Kate has the upper hand because she's fighting from the spirit realm. Both physicality, but more so she's getting her tactics from and her wisdom from the spirit realm, from her time in the spirit realm. This is what I'm truly picking up on. Let me see if I can get another message for us. Maratata karamureta mure. Nishumureta karamata krishinirete muri. Mireta karamureta karamureta karam. She's doing this for her children and their line. This is why this transformation, mother's love is endless. It's weightless, right? She's doing this for her children and their line, their children, and so forth. This is why she's here. This is what she's doing. Okay, guys, I think I will leave this here for now. And if I get more messages from Source, I will, of course, be back to provide that to you guys. But go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and like. And if you'd like to book your own quantum telekinetic reading, just go ahead and either email instructions number4humanity@gmail.com, or link is down below. But I love you guys, the birds, the bees, and yes, all of the beautiful trees. They all love you too. Love is the way. Forgiveness is the key. And truth is the absolute light that will always, always guide us home. Be well. Be well, guys. Bye.